Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is primarily going to be based on this precept, Luke 21 and 22. I'm going to get some other precepts to go along with it, though. And Lord's will, you're edified. So Luke 21 and 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And that's right, and there's a lot of things written in these scriptures that are going to be fulfilled. Prophecies that have to come to pass. Like it says in 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And all the judgment that the Lord is about to unleash upon this earth, that is his vengeance upon these proud, simple-minded, wicked people. Like it says in Psalm 7 and 11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. So every day that passes, more and more judgments take place. And this is a sign of the times, a sign of the last days. Like it says in 2 Timothy 3 and 1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And we are clearly living in some dangerous times. Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation. That's basically race wars. Because we're not races. Like so-called black people are not a race. We're a nation. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not a race of people. We're a nation of people. We're Israelites. These so-called white people, they're not white people. They're Edomites. And so on and so forth. So it says, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's basically, world wars. Because America would be looked at as a kingdom. Canada, the UK, Germany, France, all of these countries, they're looked at as kingdoms. So it's nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It says, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And there's about to be famine. There are famines happening in certain countries, a lack of food, a lack of water, people starving to death. And that is going to find its way here to the West, particularly here to America, aka Babylon the Great, the place that the Lord is going to nuke off the face of the earth. It says, and pestilences, viruses, diseases, just different types of calamities are going to befall this place. It says, and earthquakes in diverse places. And when you look up the definition of diverse, it means many or multiple. And anybody that's been paying attention sees that there are earthquakes happening all over the world. Some places are experiencing earthquakes more frequently than others because of, where they are. They could be on a fault line or something like that, so they're experiencing a lot more earthquakes. But even in places that aren't particularly known for experiencing earthquakes, are starting to experience them more often. And that also is a sign of the times. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And we've clearly been seeing these things come to pass. The earthquakes, the storms and tempests, the fires, wildfires, brush fires, people's businesses burning down, churches burning down, homes and apartment buildings burning. Like I said, these wildfires that just spread and cause all sorts of destruction. The rainstorms that can cause flash flooding and mudslides and landslides, lightning storms, snowstorms, blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes, tropical storms. Luke 12:51. Suppose ye that I'm come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay, but rather division. And that's exactly another thing that we've been seeing take place. A lot of division, a lot of racial division, a lot of political division, a lot of division in regards to people's religions. And we already know that division is going to result in violence, civil wars, race wars, and ultimately world war. And we know that this upcoming world war, World War III, is going to be the war to end all wars, because it's going to be a nuclear war. And America is not going to survive this third world war. Because like I said earlier, the Lord is going to unleash all of these nuclear missiles that these other nations have upon America to erase this wicked place right off the face of the earth. You see, those of us of the hopeful elect, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we have basically been given a heads up or an advanced warning through these scriptures as to what's about to take place. The Lord has opened our eyes to be able to see, and He's opened our minds to understand these scriptures. So we see the things written in these scriptures coming to pass. There is no making America great again. These Edomites, these so-called white people, they had their turn to rule, and they've damn near destroyed the world because they were never fit to rule. They are the wicked. Like it says in Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. These Edomites, they are in control of basically everything, and they've destroyed the world. They poison the air, they poison the food, they poison the water. They're constantly going to war with people, just killing people, colonizing other people's lands, killing off the insects, hunting animals to extinction. Constantly drilling into the earth, not giving the earth any giving the land any rest, chopping down trees at an alarming rate, putting plastics in the water, chemtrails in the air. Everything these so-called white people do just causes death. And so now they have to reap what they have sown. Now they have to get a taste of their own medicine. All the curses that fell upon us, the Israelites, are now being brought upon these Edomites. And that's why these Edomites are acting up the way that they are. Because they can tell that they're losing power. And they don't like that. So they're scratching and clawing and throwing anything and everything at the wall, hoping that it sticks so they can stay in power. But like the scriptures say, the Lord has appointed their bounds that they cannot pass. And we are very close to the end of those bounds. So these Edomites, they're going down. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. And anybody that is attached to these people, of these other nations, including our nation, the nation of Israel, which primarily makes up so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're going down right along with Esau. Because like that old saying goes, if you ride with the enemy, you're going to die with the enemy. All of these people who think that Esau, is someone to follow, you're obviously against the Lord. Because these people, these simple-minded, wicked people, they'd rather have Esau rule over them than Yahushua rule over them. Because Esau condones their wicked behavior, and the Lord does not. The Lord punishes people for being wicked. Meanwhile, Esau will reward you for being wicked. See, in the kingdom of heaven, the wickedness that these people do is not going to be taking place. Because if you try to do the wickedness that you do here, if you try to do that in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to get put to death. Sword strokes are going to be laid upon you. See, that's why people don't want to leave this place. They don't want this place destroyed because there's a lot of wickedness. There's a lot of carnal things that they like to do that is not going to be allowed when the kingdom of heaven is established. So because these people want to continue to be attached to Babylon, they want to continue to be attached to Esau and to wickedness, they're going to die right along with Esau, and they're going to die right along with this wicked-ass place. The famines are going to destroy these people. The civil war and the race wars are going to destroy these people. The stress of everything that's about to come upon the earth is going to destroy these people. A lot of people are going to be having heart attacks from the level of chaos that's going to be taking place. These wicked people, they have no idea what's about to happen. Even though the men of the Lord are constantly warning people, out on the highways and hedges and through these lessons. We are in that time. We are in the last days. And the scriptures tell us to watch. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's exactly what those of us of the hopeful elect are doing daily. We're watching. We're watching the news. We're seeing what's happening in America and throughout the rest of the world. And we're praying that the Lord accounts us worthy to escape the famines and the pestilences and the violence and the chaos and all the death and destruction and the many great miseries that he is about to unleash upon this earth. As punishment for all the wickedness that has been taking place here. And America is going to catch it the worst, because this place is the pinnacle of wickedness. And once America is destroyed, it will never be rebuilt. And it's good riddance to this place, and good riddance to all the people that want to keep this wicked place running. So for all you sincere brothers and sisters out there, stay strong, stay patient, stay prayed up, stay locked in, continue to watch, because things are only going to get more intense and more chaotic from here. All according to the scriptures, and all according to the fact that we are living in the last days. It's all downhill from here for Babylon in particular, and basically for all these wicked people, whether they be Edomites, whether they be Israelites, or whether they be of these other nations. Anyone that is an enemy of the Lord is going to suffer greatly in these last days before ultimately being put to death. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakudash, the water Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. And Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.